Hello,
Good
everybody. Good
morning.
morning. Let's jump in with song. Thank you for waiting. I am home. I am home. I have traveled far along this road and now I'm home. Shalom. Shalom. In the love of God, I am home. I am home. I am home. I have traveled far along this road and now I'm home. Shalom. Shalom. In the love of God, I am home.
And so the candle has been lit. Welcome to Unity, spirituality with open hearts and open minds, and an open understanding of how linked we are beyond time and space. So, welcome this morning, and I'd like to begin this day with our wonderful interfaith prayer for peace, which came to me originally in a slightly different form from Friends of Iona in Scotland. And so I invite you to settle in at depth. These words, I feel, are so, so important for all of us right now. Oh, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, Hagia Sophia, Allah, Lord Krishna, Buddha, Jehovah, Jesus, and all other enlightened ones. Since a part of your divinity is planted in each of us, may we hear all others as you hear them. May we see all others as you see them. May we feel for all others with your compassion. May we think of all others with your wisdom. May we speak of all others with your voice. May we act toward all others with your intention and with your love. And so it is. Om and Amen.
Blessed be.
Blessed be.
So, we've lost David, unfortunately. I'm going to try and get him back up. Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to give you a little tour of Crowdcast. So, above your chat function, there's a question mark, help. And if you click on that, if you're having problems with the audio, if it's dropping in and out, there's a slightly easier on your system version of the video in there. And this is us coming together online. We hope that the technology is working for you. And if it drops out, this will be up on YouTube later on today. So I'm going to pass you back to Pam.
Yes, so announcements. As you all know, we're doing our Sunday services live streaming right now. There'll be an update tomorrow from Governor Inslee, but my anticipation is we will probably be staying in our homes and in groups of 2 or less, maybe 10 at the most, for probably another couple of weeks. So I'm going to wait to hear that, and we're going to be in alignment with what is safe, not out of fear, but out of love. And so I'll be updating you as to when we can regather in our very own home sanctuary. But in the meantime, we're each in our little home sanctuaries, united completely. Yay, David just made it back on. Great. And so we want to stay connected. So these live streaming services is one way. Simon posts them later in the day on YouTube. We've got them on the website. So you'll be able to, if you want to hear the music or message or anything, again, you can replay it, send it to friends who might need inspiration. We're doing High Noon with Reverend Pam on Zoom. The link is on the website and in the weekly newsletter. And that has been an amazing time every day, except Sunday when we're doing this at noon. We meet to share and support each other and pray and meditate and get inspired for the day together. So please feel free to join us on Zoom. You'll come up as a little picture, so we'll be able to see you if you want. You don't have to. Some people in their pajamas are opting out. And we'll be able to hear you. So it's a great way of maintaining community. And for those of you who are not able to be a part of this live streaming or who don't do the internet as well, what we want to do is we're going to create this week, I'm going to call them presence and prayer partners. So it's for prayer, but it's also for being connected to someone else. And so we will be contacting the people that don't have email, the people who are not as technologically savvy. And if you know of any, please let them know. Email Unity if you would like us to match you up with a prayer partner. Or you can flip through the directory and find somebody you'd like to get to know better, or somebody who you feel would be a good support and connection for you, and create your own prayer partners. I don't want any of you to feel you're on your own in this. Our spiritual community, our hearts are always linked, but it's wonderful to see love and presence in God with skin on in each other's faces and in each other's voices. So please plan on being a part of that. Even if you're doing the live streaming, pick a prayer partner to touch base with every day. So we are going to keep linking through this. We also, I want to invite you all to become part of something that is worldwide now, which is at 8 o'clock every evening. All over the world, people are stepping out on their porches, on their balconies, on their front lawns, in their stairwells, and they're applauding and cheering to support all of the first responders and all of those frontline people who are keeping everything going for us. I got an email from Barb Lasky over in Seattle, and she said Seattle is doing this big time, and that it's just wonderful to hear all these voices and cheers from all around. So we know people are singing from their porches, but they're also offering this support. So night before last, I surprised Lane. I looked over and it was 8 o'clock, and I went out on my front porch and clapped and cheered. And I didn't hear any distance, doesn't mean there. If you be posting that world at 8 o'clock, just take a moment to send a wave of gratitude for those people. And we will continue our community after the service. We'll close with our usual peace song and prayer of protection, and then Simon will do some chimes, and then we can hang out. You can ask questions, we can connect with one another, and do our usual social coffee hour here online. So we'll do that as well. So we are so glad you are here. I invite you now to settle in, and Simon's going to lead us in 2 songs.
Come, let us light up our hearts. Come, let us light up our homes. Breathe in and breathe out, making circles of love. Come, let us light up our hearts. Come, let us light up our hearts. Come, let us light up our homes. Breathe in and breathe out, making circles of love. Come, let us light up our world. Come, let us light up our hearts. Come, let us light up our homes. Breathe in and breathe out, making circles of love. Come, let us light up our world. Prayers for the world indeed. And then this is in Hebrew, Kozi Rivaya, which means my cup is full to the point of overflowing. There's 3 parts and I'm only one person, so I don't know what I'll do, but please sing along. Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya. Keep going. Kozi, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya, Kozi Rivaya.
Well, good morning, everybody. Once again, it's time for announcements, and here we are announcing. So, as Pam said, at noon every day, we have this brunch together, I guess it is, a chance to center in and check in and be connected. I got something this morning that was pretty interesting. It says, the great paradox, and Spirit always works in paradoxes. Yes. The great paradox, of course, is that we have to be set apart in order to feel together. And how true it is in this moment in time that we're apart and yet finding great ways to connect, from a box on my porch that may have some extra food in it, to live streaming here on Sunday morning, to the chat that we do in the at noon. I want to have people have not been taking advantage of the prayer box because it's not in physical form, but we have a wonderful, wonderful virtual form on our website. Please do take advantage of that. Wendy and Steve, or Wendy and Norm, Stevens, particularly Wendy, is a prolific user of our prayer box, and I invite Wendy to go ahead and put them on the prayer request form on our website. It's a great use of that tool. The prayer chaplains all get a copy of it. We all pray over those requests, and it's a good chance just to kind of download what may be heavy on your heart. So today, before we do the daily word, one of the tenets of unity is the concept of cause and effect, mind action, what goes around comes around, all this kind of stuff. And here's an interpretation I thought was pretty good, particularly for today. Those who know and experience life as full of blessings are those who believe in life's inherent, irrepressible tendency to bless. With this belief, they put the basic law of mind and consciousness into motion. The basic law of as within, so without. It is the foundation for increasing our experience of life's blessings. So as we start feeling anxious or fear or overwhelming concern and all those kinds of things, we need to find another place so we can retool and recenter ourselves. And that's what we do on a weekly basis. I hope we're doing that at home on an individual basis. If nothing more, peace, be still. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath, peace, be still. And allow that feeling in the presence of Spirit to be with you and calm you, and to know that in the big scheme, all is well. This is all part of God. The virus, what we're doing about it, everything else, this is all captured within, God is much bigger than all of this. And we just need to be in that presence to know that, to really feel that. And lo and behold, the daily word today is right on point. Inner peace. I find the peace of God in the silence within me. The Hebrew scriptures tell a story of the word of the Lord commanding the prophet Elijah to, quote, stand on the mountain before the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by, unquote. So Elijah goes to the top of the mountain and he waits. And he fails to find God. He endures a windstorm strong enough to split mountains, an earthquake, and then a fire. Then Elijah discovers God in the sound of sheer silence. Following the chaos in the sound of sheer silence. Sometimes chaos surrounds me as I try to find the peace of God. Boy, that's true for me. Other times, the chaos may be inside me. That's also true for me. But if I persist in my efforts as I confront inner storms, fires, and earthquakes, I can search for peace. Like Elijah, I remain steadfast in my faith, undisturbed by what's happening around me. I wait for distractions to pass, and the peace is mine. From 1 Kings, and after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of sheer silence. I find the peace of God in the silence within me. May each of us go there as often as necessary. As Jesus said, I am the well, drink from me often. The peace that he brought is the well that we have the opportunity to drink from. Blessings, everybody.
Thank you, David. Beautifully said. And what a perfect daily word for today. Peace. Because we know that life is filled with all kinds of different experiences. And when our focus is out there, we see that outer appearance and that chaos. But just like with a hurricane, there is always a center of peace, even in the greatest storm. And that center of peace for each of us is touching the hem of the presence of the divine and realizing that that presence is with us always and forever, no matter what is going on out here. Within us, that presence abide, and in the very heart of life itself, that presence abides. They've talked about how with people going into their homes, how the earth has responded, and how instead of the sounds of cars, we are hearing the sounds of birds once again. It's that presence of the divine that is always and forever with us, and that presence of peace that is with us. And that is what we seek to grow within ourselves and between one another in this spiritual family, in this spiritual community, which is why we have a mantra that says who and what we are. I invite you all to join me in saying our mantra right now. We are an authentic, transformative, spiritual community centered in God. We co-create a world that works for all. Let's say it one more time and let these words touch you at depth, because it's the presence of God meeting you who you are, where you are in the midst of life right now. We are an authentic, transformative, spiritual community centered in God. we co-create a world that works for all. So let's settle into just a moment of silence, moving into that silence for a moment. With peace be still, we'll say it 3 times together, a moment of silence, and then I'll bring you out with a mantra, and then we'll do our full meditation. So in this silence, peace be still, but I want you to use this silence to radiate out and to invite into this circle in this moment, beyond time and space, all of those that you would invite, that you're called to bring into this moment. This is where those who can't come on the internet will consciously be brought into this circle of love and faith and grace by us. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Oh, we give thanks for this spiritual family, this spiritual community, and all those seen and unseen who are united with us now. And 3 times we will say the mantra of the month, which is all is one. All is one. All is one. All is one. Oh, we are united now as we shift from outer to community into the inner community and the presence of the divine, the sanctuary within. As Simon leads us in our meditation chant.
Well, I was just listening to the Daily Word and changed songs. I love the fact that I'm on the internet and can do this, so I'm going to post the words. Spread wide the hem of your garment. Bring healing, bring peace. Spread wide the hem of your garment. Bring healing, bring peace. Spread wide the hem of your garment. Bring healing, bring peace.
Spread wide the hem of your garment. Bring healing, bring peace. And so we each settle in right where we are and as we are in this holy moment. Opening to receive and to become aware anew of the depth and breadth of the presence of the divine within us, between us, in our lives and in our world. There is nowhere where the presence of God is not. There is nothing in which the presence of God cannot be called forth. We see it each day in the loving, compassionate, and heroic responses of people all around the globe, in the small kindnesses, in the prayers spoken from the hearts of millions. And so let us now, in a moment of silence, feel Mother Earth beneath our feet, sustaining and nourishing us. Father Sky above our heads, inviting us into higher vistas and understandings. In the presence of the divine all around, in the beauty and wonder of nature, the beauty and wonder of humanity, the beauty and wonder that is the kingdom of heaven made manifest on earth in and through and as us. Settle into this place of true communion with all of life, with all of yourself, and with this beautiful, unconditional love of God. Feel this presence in your physical form, all the way down to a cellular level and beyond. This vessel, this vehicle through which your soul gets to journey through this realm, through this life experience. Bless it exactly as it is. And invite it to receive the blessings of healing and energy now. Allow this presence to infill your heart, that vessel that holds compassion and love and connectedness, but also holds anger and fear. And so let this presence come and embrace and encircle your heart exactly as it is this day. And as it is held, let your heart open to receive the living, loving presence of light that brings unconditional love and compassion to even the most shadowed corners of your heart. Allow this to infill your heart and overflow the chalice of your heart out into the world. And now invite this presence of the divine to infill your mind, your thoughts, your perceptions, your understandings. Let this presence still the waters that are stormy. Let it calm the waters until your realm of mind becomes like a still pond, accepting it exactly as it is now, but allowing the waves to gentle and to calm. Right now, just focus on the presence of the divine. And as you do so, let this light of illumination, new perceptions, new understandings, the creations of eyes that can see the presence of God, even in the midst of chaos. Let this light shine down into the deepest thoughts, remembrances, perceptions, bringing a peace that passes all understanding. Allow this peace to infill your thoughts and consciously radiate peace, peace to one and to all, near and far, as we journey through this life together. And now allow this spiritual presence of the divine to surround, infill, enfold, and uplift your soul, that unique spark of the divine that you are. And realize you've been sent to be a presence in this world here and now. And so allow the presence of the divine to so infill you with peace and grace and love that in this moment you realize what a beloved child of God you are, and that you have been sent to be this presence of the divine in our world, in our midst. Know we see and honor you for being present here. And so in this moment, I invite you to gather all of the energies that you are blessed to hold, and to add your energies and express them now as prayers from the depth of your being. We'll uplift our prayers now, wherever we are, but we lift them up and they unite in the field of love and energy above all of us. And they commune with the realm of spirit, the angels, the presence of the divine. And together we will watch as the radiance of answered prayer shine down upon us, one and all, and for everyone for whom we pray. We say these prayers holding highest and best and right and perfect time for all. And so now, silently or aloud, however you are so guided, pour forth your prayers into this sacred space and into the hearts and prayers of your Anam Cara, your soul family. We add to these prayers all of those entrusted to the High Watch prayer chaplains, spoken, written, or sent soul to soul. And we unite in sending a great wave of prayers, of healing, of protection, and of inspiration to one and to all. May those who are ill feel a blanket of comfort surround them. May those who are on the front lines feel a circle of lighted protection around them as they serve. And may those who are working on ways to creatively address this virus, may it be like light bulbs going off in their collective heads as they come up with miraculous and amazing solutions. And for all around the world, we send prayers of peace in the midst of the chaos. We send to all our beautiful unity blessing. Peace be still. Peace be still. And so allow your heart to begin to overflow with gratitude. And I'll seal this time with a prayer for the month that comes from Earth Prayers, from the Native First Nations, Manitonquat. Hear, O humankind, the prayer of my heart. For are we not one, have we not one desire? To heal our Mother Earth and to bind her wounds, to hear again from dark forests and flashing rivers the varied, ever-changing song of creation. O humankind, are we not all brothers and sisters? Are we not the grandchildren of the great mystery? Do we not all want to love and be loved, to work and to play, to sing and to dance together. But we live with fear. Fear that is hate, fear that is mistrust, envy, greed, vanity, fear that is ambition, competition, aggression, fear that is loneliness, anger, bitterness, cruelty. And yet, fear is only twisted love, love turned back on itself, love that was denied, love that was rejected, and love. For love is life, creation, seed and leaf, and blossom and fruit and seed. Love is growth and search and reach and touch and dance. Love is nurture and succor and feed and pleasure. Love is pleasuring ourselves and each other. Love is life believing in itself. And life is the sacred mystery singing to itself, dancing to its drum, telling tales, improvising, playing. And we are all that spirit. Our stories, all but one cosmic story, that we are love indeed. And that perfect love in me seeks the love in you. And if our eyes could meet without fear, we would recognize each other and rejoice. For life is love, believing in itself. Love is life, believing in itself. Let us believe in life. Let us believe in one another. Let us know that what we are experiencing is an opportunity to become more truly who and what we truly are, and to share the gifts that we have been sent to give and to receive for and with one another. We are so grateful for this time of prayer together, and we begin to shift from our inner sanctuaries back to this virtual sanctuary that we've made from our hearts and souls, as Simon once again returns us to this moment with song.
Last time. I am. So I'm going to take my headphones off for a second. I'm going to share a piece of music with you now as we get ready to listen to Pam's message. This is my version of Prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. Grant that I can see through my human pain and still feel loved. darkness, let light be found in there. We need light to find us here. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. We all need to learn to forgive a few more 100 times. Melt our hatred and let love take root in our hearts. Lord, make me a channel of your peace. And through our own pain and need, we will learn to understand. Reach through our sorrow, let it be joy. Oh, let it be joy. Lord, make me a channel of peace in my life. Amen. So, something I say a lot when I'm preaching at the Avamere, the End of Life Care Facility, is that Christianity doesn't really make sense for people that when everything's okay, when your life is fancy and you don't really need God, you don't deeply feel it. And I really feel like the true meaning in Christianity comes through in times like these, where love is what defines us, how we live our life and not how we happen to die, and all that deeper stuff that normally just lives in people's heads. But now is the time for us to walk the talk. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Simon. Walking the talk, that is truly what we are all called to be doing right now. It's a living laboratory for our faith, for our belief in the presence of God, for our belief in one another. This year we are doing the mystical tree, and it comes from the Gospel of Mary Magdalene with the branches of the tree in this mystical vision, but it overlays perfectly both the chakras and the ancient Jewish Kabbalah system. And it also overlays the powers, the 12 powers of unity that are our spiritual powers and energies that we all have, that we are called to develop and use in our lives. We come with a spiritual toolkit when we arrive, but it's up to us to learn how to utilize and to work with the tools. And so this month we've been doing the first branch, which is about love and compassion, and releasing judgment and releasing wrath and anger, and replacing that with love and compassion at deeper and deeper levels of being. Because once you can do that and really switch from wrath and judgment into love and compassion, your heart immediately lightens, the world lightens, and then the gate opens where you move up to the next level of the tree. And in the Kabbalah, the tree is open with branches up into heaven, all the way up into Ayin, which is no thingness. And then it comes down with all of the energies and all of the powers. And then it grounds right here where we are, in, through, and as us. And the bottom of the tree is called Malkuth, which is community. It is us living together, grounded beings, embodied souls on the earth, and what we do here. And in some Jewish traditions, the tree is reversed, and the roots are in heaven, and it comes down with all of the energies, and then we are the branches. And I love the fact it can be either way, because the way we're approaching it right now is the importance of us taking all these energies and living them in the midst of chaos. How can we stay grounded and rooted in compassion and love as the winds blow the tree above us? Realizing, though, that we are also these expressions of this divine energy. We're all little branches of this tree. And so right now, it's about deepening our roots, though, so that we can do that. And so I invite you all to welcome this day as an opportunity to deepen your roots, to be present, and then to allow the tree that is you and your life to grow toward the heavens with expressions and branches to shelter everyone. The other name for Malkuth is Shekinah, which is divine mystical community. And I love the fact that that energy at the base of the tree is both grounded, embodied humanity, but also our divinity and our mystical connections of love one to the other. Because the greatest message of all spiritual traditions, but especially the message of the great teacher Jesus, is the power of love. It's his greatest commandment, and we are called to do that. And Shekinah and Malkuth meet. Our sacred humanity meet as one at the very base of our being. And this is called the gate of nobility, because nobility is letting ourselves listen to our better angels and be as noble as we possibly can be. I've always loved a passage that Stephanie Austin shared that's an old Slavic saying that says, be humble because you are of the earth, be noble because you are of the stars. Our bodies are literally made of stardust. We are one with all of life. And in one of my favorite books by Rabbi Shonai Leibowitz, it's on the Kabbalah, and she says, in nobility, you take all that you have received, experienced, and demonstrated in your life until now, and you lift it up to its highest form in order to serve goodness with dignity and grace. In nobility, you stand with faith on the threshold between what you have accomplished and completed and what you are about to begin. This presence is made manifest in and through each of us as well as our shared world. The Baal Shem Tov of the Jewish tradition says every person has a part in bringing about the age of enlightenment. We are part of being a collective Messiah. This is from a Jewish mystic, part of a collective Messiah. And in the early church, they were waiting for Jesus to return in a physical bodied form, to drop down on a cloud and say, here I am. They didn't realize that the true second coming is not an embodied coming. It's the birth of that Christ child, the birth of the divine light, the birth of Jesus within each of us. We are the second coming. It is us. And so it's the perfect time to listen to those higher angels, but also to draw from the traditions that have sustained people for centuries. And I had another piece that I was going to do today, and then I noticed we're going to be singing the 23rd Psalm. And I found myself going, oh, I want to go back and look at that again. It's such a profound prayer that is perfect for any point in our lives, but most particularly for times we're in times of challenge, because it reminds us that supply, protection, and guidance are ever with us. It's one we've all heard since childhood, and it's the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. Yea, though I walk the paths of his righteousness for his name's sake. And so you have this wonderful beginning of the poem, this prayer, this psalm. The psalm was meant to be sung. And it begins with the shepherd, which is, I'm going to be tenderly cared for. I'm not going to want, everything I need will be there in right and perfect time. There are times to lie down in green pastures, to be nurtured, to be cared for. There are times to be led beside still waters. And what that was the sheep, when they would go to a stream, would not drink from the water because the water was rushing too fast and it frightened them, the chaos. And so the shepherd would create a little pool of still water right beside the creek, and the sheep would then drink from the still, calm water. The same is true for us. When we go into prayer, it's like we create a little pool of that calm water. He restoreth my soul. Mohammed said, if I had 2 coats, I'd sell one and buy hyacinths for my soul. I've always loved that. It's realizing that right where you are, you're going to be restored and met and cared for. The source is ever, ever with you. We then go to the next section. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Ever present, ever protected, no matter where you're going. Have a lovely pasture, waters, in the midst of your greatest challenge and the deepest chaos and the darkest night of the soul, the presence of the divine abides with you, closer than breath, always and forever. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, that dark night of the soul. And I've always wanted to remind everyone, it's walk through the valley. Don't stay there forever. Don't pitch a tent or build a house. Move through that life experience just as you move through all of your other ones, and realize it's part of the process of life. It's not something to be afraid of. I love fear no evil. There is nothing to fear when the presence of God is with you. No matter whether you're going through life and death experiences, that presence is there, for thou art with me. Emmett Fox says, whenever we feel as though we are in bondage or a situation that seems impossible, we can rise above it. No matter what the outer appearance may be, no matter how difficult it may seem, if we turn and keep our thoughts on God. Return your thoughts. That's what the rod and the staff to comfort. A lot of people think, oh, that was used to beat the sheep to get them to go the right way. No, they were merely for protection and gentle guidance. And so that brings you to a table that is prepared. You come through this valley, and now there is a place of rest, the oasis in the desert, the table that is prepared for me right in the midst of life. And even if it is in the presence of thine enemies, the table is there. You can find that center of peace even in the midst of discord and disagreements. When we're around people who feel different, think different than we do, we don't have to be enemies. There is nothing that says that once you are sat at your table, you cannot invite those to join you at table. In the ancient traditions, if someone sat with you at table, they could do you no harm. That's why when a nomad would come to a new group of people, they would share food, communion, and then all could go to sleep that night knowing they had made a covenant of soul to protect each other and to cause no harm. Let us invite one another to the table. And then finally, thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Oh, such a beautiful promise that the guidance, the comfort, the inspiration you need will always and forever be there. To be anointed with oil meant to have the presence of God poured forth down upon you as illumination. It was oil because that was sacred, it was valuable, but also it was the source of light for the candles, the oil. And so to light our candles, having been anointed with oil, means we will have the illumination, the enlightenment, the inspiration we need to be able to see the presence of God in every situation. And then my cup runneth over. The oil that has been poured upon me is so much that it's not just for me. It's so I get to be blessed and blessing by being a channel of that for the world. The chalice of our hearts runneth over when we allow ourselves to be infilled by the presence. And I think all of us could use people around us to let us drink from their cups in these times, spiritually, energetically, that living water from which you will never thirst again. And then surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, not just when it's calm and wonderful, but all the days of my life. And life transcends before birth with the first breath and after you take the last breath of death. It is all life. Your soul is never separate from the presence of God. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Divine consciousness is that house. It is the key to the mystery of life, is what my first Unity minister, Don Curtis, called it. The key to the inner mystery of life. It's like the prodigal son coming home, and the father doesn't wait on the porch. He runs out to the road and says, "Welcome home, I love you." That presence of the divine, the house of the Lord, is welcoming us always and forever. There is a new version of that I would like to share with you. Simon introduced me to this. It's by Nancy Merrill, and it comes from the book Psalms for Praying, an Invitation to Wholeness. And Cynthia Bourgeault, who is one of my teachers and someone I very much admires, calls Nan Merrill the Rumi of the Christian faith, because she updates and brings it alive. She says to meditate and dialogue with the Psalms. When you do that, they become living prayers. That's what they were meant to be. Our world is crying out for active and focused prayers. And in the preface to her 10th anniversary edition, she writes, since the nations, governments, environment, and peoples of the world are repeatedly changing, we are all faced with new challenges. This was from 2017. In response, prayers of millions of individuals are rising up to bear witness to love in these unsettling times. Praying the Psalms with heartfelt attention and attention can be a step toward our soul awakening to the love consciousness of being brought into the light out of the ashes of terror and destruction in our day. Just as light dispels darkness, fear cannot exist where love abides. May the prayers of all who read, pray, or sing the Psalms awaken us to the peace of the beloved, indwelling every soul. May we become peace. May we know the gentle joy of co-creating with beloved on behalf of earth, our home. And so I gift you now with Nan Merrill's 23rd Psalm. You'll notice a few differences. Let them sing in your heart this day. Oh, my beloved, you are my shepherd. I shall not want. You bring me to green pastures for rest and lead me beside still waters, renewing my spirit. You restore my soul. You lead me in the path of goodness to follow love's way. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow and of death, I am not afraid. For you are ever with me. Your rod and your staff, they guide me. They give me strength and comfort. You prepare a table before me in the presence of all my fears. You bless me with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the heart of the beloved forever. Amen. Isn't that a beautiful rendition? So I invite you to befriend the 23rd Psalm this week. Let it touch you and inspire you. And I want to gift you with a quote from a very famous philosopher. Comes through A.A. Milne, and it's Pooh Bear. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And I'd like to close this message with a beautiful piece that came from Sky this week, and it's called And the People. We've been closing each time with some new passage that's been created here and now in the midst of what we're going through. And the people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still. And they listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows. And the people began to think differently, and the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully, even as they had been healed. We are those people. Thank you for being here today. And let's join Simon now as we give voice to the beautiful 23rd Psalm and let its presence be with us as it has with people for millennia.
Thank you, Pam. So this is the 23rd Psalm by a contemporary version of it by James Block. He is a Canadian Jewish person who lives in Israel. And I tweaked a few of the words to have Nan Merrill in there because I love that version of the Psalm. It's actually by my bedside over there. And I'm going to give you the lyrics in the chat function. Oh, it won't let me because there's too many. So I'll give you half the lyrics and then you can just listen for. No, still won't let me. They'll just have to sing along. So there's a refrain. I sing a word and then you sing that back at the start of every verse. Yahweh is my shepherd. Yahweh is my shepherd, and I won't lack for anything I need. Yahweh makes me lie down. Yahweh makes me lie down in fields of green and pleasant green, and gives me peace. Yahweh guides my pathway. Yahweh guides my pathway. To quiet waters he leads me to drink, and I will drink. I will drink. Yahweh restores my soul. Yahweh restores my soul, so I can walk in righteousness for his name's sake. When I walk through the valley, I'll fear no evil, for I know you are with me. Your rod and your staff, you comfort me. You comfort me. Yahweh prepares the table. Yahweh prepares the table in the presence of all my fears. Yahweh blesses me. Yahweh blesses me, and my cup is overflowing, and on my head oil is pouring. Pour over me. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all my days, all my days. Yahweh is my shepherd. You ready? Yahweh is my shepherd. And again. Yahweh is my shepherd, and I will dwell in her house forevermore. One more time. And I will dwell in her house forevermore, forevermore. Amen. David, I think you're up next.
I believe that's the case. So as we prepare this time in our service for our offering, which is the donate button down here in the bottom of the screen. I think that'll get us someplace to the virtual basket that we pass here. I'd like to read you this is from James Dillett Freeman. It's called Sailor. And I think this is pretty apropos because we're sailing in some very uncharted waters right now. By ways I never charted and hardly wished to go, I have sailed to unknown course on a sea too wide to know. I have drifted, lost at times, not sure where the shore might be. I have searched through storm-tossed nights for a light that I could not see. But a higher wisdom than my own has had me in its hand, and I shall trust that it will bring me safe at last to land. So as we take our offering, you can push your donate button or however you wish to do it. We'll just bless that as we do in physical form. We'll do it here in cyber form. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful indeed.
So everybody, I put the wrong address in.
So we're going to do the offertory
right
song?
now. I am. I'm just fixing
Okay, very good.
I have put the wrong right. That should take you to the right website now. Sorry about that, everybody. All right. I will bring us all back up on screen. So this is Thich Nhat Hanh. When I breathe in and I'm too low, let's bring the volume. Let's bring this up a little bit. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. And I would like to say that if you are a member of a congregation that is not Unity of Port Townsend, please support your local congregation. These are not easy time for churches, even if they don't have the overhead of a church building. And so I just fixed the link that says offering, and it'll take you to my website, and there's a number of donation offering potentials there. Pam, let me put your mic back on.
Okay, and there is a reminder that there is also a permanent donation button at the top of our website at unitypt.org now, and you can also send it to our P.O. Box if you do traditional checks, and that's P.O. Box 1853, and that's on the website and in the weekly newsletter, so you'll have all that information, and I cannot tell you how deeply I'm going to get choked up, how deeply appreciated your support for Unity as we go through this time means to all of us. And it's support at every level of being. It's time, it's talent, it's touch, as well as treasure. And your generosity will allow us to keep our circle intact and then to rejoin in person when we come out of the other end of this experience, dancing in gratitude for all we've learned and shared. So just a very deep, heartfelt thank you for the depth of your love for what we co-create together every moment that is Unity of Port Townsend. I love you all. So,
and I noticed that we have over 85 people here
wow.
join us today, which is wonderful. That probably translates to over 100 when you look at couples. So next week we'll put some more chairs out so everybody can have a chair.
Talking about chairs, I missed the announcements because I was busy getting these chimes. And I'd like to tell you that I'm doing a lot of things online.
Yes.
Doing the Easter sunrise service and Wednesday's prayer for healing, that which is basically just chanting. And so there's quite a lot of things. So if you're interested in all the stuff I'm doing
remind
online,
everybody what time your prayer for healing is.
it's at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays.
So remind yourselves, another wonderful way to be inspired during the week. David, do you want to say a blessing for our virtual offering that lands luckily with reality into our bank?
There we go. Sweet, sweet Spirit, Mother, Father, God, in whom we live and move and have our being, we thank you for all of the blessings. We thank you for those that are responding, those are being cared for the families, for the friends, for the outreach, for the opportunities. We thank you for this place we call home, for our very lives. And thank you for that presence that's within us, that place that we can go outside of the storm. For that is what unites us all, your presence. And as we realize that and express that, may we all, across the globe, create heaven on earth. For that is what we're called to do. For these and all our blessings, we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
So I'm going to jump in with the peace song. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And we know the light of God surrounds
us.
The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Blessings, everybody.
Blessings.
So I'm going to chime us into close of our sacred space as Pam blows out the candle.
Smoke still rising with our prayers. It's complete.